All right, so Joe Biden did a nice little speech, and this is what he had to say during it. This is from the CNN recording of it, and I just thought it was funny, and I just wanted to touch point on it. Basically, he blames Trump for the coronavirus and all this, so I just wanted to hear what he has to say and then point out how Trump did do these things and how he and other Democrats are actually extreme, massive, gigantic hypocrites for trying to blame everything on Trump when in fact there's like record of them downplaying the virus themselves. And yeah, we'll get into that. So here we go.
If the president had done his job from the beginning, all the people would still be alive. All the people, I'm not making this up, just look at the data. Look at the data.
He said, I'm not making this up. Just look at the data. And then this is the wording. If the president had done his job from the beginning, all the people would still be alive. All the people, I'm not making this up. Just look at the data. Okay, so what did he do wrong? Let's continue.
And then we're now being told there's going to be I pray to God there's a vaccine tomorrow that could be available to everyone. First of all, once a vaccine is made available, and you know this well, once it's made available, it's going if the president had...
So then he says basically that he hopes that there's a vaccine. Right now, I don't think the Democrats want a vaccine because if there is a vaccine, then it makes Trump look good. And Trump's calling them out for it, saying, you should be happy if there's a vaccine, but you're not. And, well, they realize that makes them look bad, and they don't really care about the people. They just care about them not looking bad so they can get votes. So now he's trying to, talk on that point. But essentially, he's blaming Trump for, not acting on it. He didn't do his job. Well, let's go back to, this is from the White House. You can go to whitehouse.gov. They keep a record of all this stuff. This is titled Proclamation, Suspension of Entry as Immigrants and Non-Immigrants of Certain Additional Persons Who Pose a Risk of Transmitting 2019 Novel Coronavirus. This is from Trump. This is on record. Basically, these are the things that he did. So on January 31st, 2020, I issued Proclamation 9984. This is Trump, which is a suspension of entry as immigrants and non-immigrants of persons who pose a risk of transmitting 2019 novel coronavirus and other appropriate measures to address this risk. I found that the potential for widespread transmission of a new novel coronavirus, which has since been named SARS-CoV-2 and causes the disease COVID-19, by infected individuals seeking to enter the United States threatens the security of our transportation system and infrastructure and the national security. Because of the outbreak of the virus was at the time centered in the People's Republic of China, I suspended and limited the entry of all aliens who were physically present within the People's Republic of China, excluding the special administrative regions of Hong Kong and Macau, during the 14-day period preceding their entry or attempted entry into the United States, subject to certain exceptions. On February 29th, 2020, in recognition of this sustained person-to-person transmission in the Islamic Republic of Iran, I issued Proclamation 9992, suspension of entry as immigrants and non-immigrants of certain additional persons who pose risk to transmitting 2019 novel coronavirus, suspending and limiting the entry of all aliens who were physically present within the Islamic Republic of Iran during the 14-day period. So essentially, whenever Trump was updated on where this disease was coming from, he had restricted travel from those places into the United States. This started on January 31st, 2020. January 31st, the lockdowns didn't happen until the end of March, right? January, February, March. So this occurred in January. And then you get stuff like this. You get Biden back in March basically saying this.
We will lead by science. The World Health Organization now has officially declared COVID-19 a pandemic. Downplaying it, being overly dismissive, or spreading misinformation is only going to hurt us and further advantage the spread of the disease. But neither should we panic or fall back on xenophobia. Labeling COVID-19 a foreign virus does not displace accountability for the misjudgments that have been taken thus far by the Trump administration. Let me be crystal clear. The coronavirus does not have a political affiliation. It will infect Republicans, independents, and Democrats alike.
He's basically saying that the travel ban is xenophobic. He's saying it's xenophobic. He said that. And now he's trying to, say, oh, well, don't worry, it's going to affect anybody. And then he goes on to say that it doesn't matter if you restrict travel because it's going to spread regardless. But, I mean, if you look at xenophobia, because a lot of people throw this word around just like fascism and they don't actually know what it means. So check it out. Dislike of or prejudice against people from other countries. So he's saying that restricting travel that Trump did in order to not spread the virus into the United States or to slow it down is considered xenophobic, meaning Trump was prejudiced against these countries because of what? Because of, it wasn't prejudice, it was precaution. You were taking precaution and protecting your country and the people in it based off of evidence and data that you were given about the spreading of this new virus. You found out it spread from China, you put a restriction there. You found out it spread from Islamic areas, the Islamic Republic, and you stopped it from there. You found out from Europe, you tried to stop it from there. So it's like he was going along with it, and then you get people like Biden basically saying, oh, this is xenophobic. Well, what is it? He says, we're following the science. Well, Trump shut down travel from areas that would have brought it faster or even on a larger scale. It's absolutely mind-boggling to see this kind of stuff and to hear Joe Biden now in the presidential race, trying to use this as a way of saying, oh, Trump screwed up. Listen here, buddy. You're the one that was saying Trump was xenophobic for shutting down travel, for having travel restrictions of people coming into this country from areas that had been recorded as having outbreaks of the coronavirus. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. This is what I wanted to leave off with. This is a gem. This is an absolute gem that I found. So the Democrats are basically saying, oh, Trump's a big ding dong and he didn't do anything. He's the reason why all these people are dying from coronavirus, blah, 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 blah. You are the ones that downplayed it. We read back in here from the White House release that as of January 31st, since January, Trump was taking precautions. These videos are basically later into February, March that you're going to see. Just sit here and watch this. These are the same Democrats that are blaming Trump for not taking the right measures of slowing the spread or stopping it or preventing or helping people not die. But these are the same Democrats that are blaming him now when he started before they did to take precautions, before they realized that they needed to get on board and start actually making sure that this thing didn't spread out of control. But who knows, maybe too little too late after all of this nonsense. Just check it out.
The risk to New Yorkers for coronavirus is low.
And our city preparedness is high.
This should not stop you from going about your life, should not stop you from going to Chinatown and going out to eat. I'm going to do that today myself.
Come to Chinatown. Here we are. We're, again, careful, safe, and come join us.
There is no concern at this time for coronavirus in our region.
The Department of Sanitation is ready for Mardi Gras 2020.
The facts are reassuring.
We want New Yorkers to go about their daily lives.
But there's really no need to panic and to avoid activities that we always do as New Yorkers. We are a hardy people.
Americans do not need to panic. What I would suggest, however, is that Americans take this as a wake-up call for seasonal flu.
There's very little threat here. This disease, even if you were to get it, basically acts like a common cold.
What was that? It acts like a common cold and you're ready for Mardi Gras? One of the most massive outings of people coming together? Did you hear all this crap? And it's a lot of New Yorkers. You don't have to worry. You have the highest death toll. You really dropped the ball, New York. You really screwed this up. And could it be because you're telling people not to worry or it's just like the common cold? Listen to these people.
Or flu.
So we're telling New Yorkers, go about your lives, take the subway, go out, enjoy life.
And certainly not to miss the parade next Sunday. I'm going to be there.
Oh!
If you had to, would you close down the borders?
No.
We just need to be honest about the American people, with the American people about the fact that we can't keep people coming here from China.
And transmission is not that easy. I think there's been a misperception that coronavirus hangs in the air waiting to catch you. No, it takes direct person-to-person contact.
Can you believe this crap? Can you believe this crap? You get crap like this, Mr. Joe Biden
Had done his job from the beginning, all the people would still be alive. All the people, I'm not making this up, just look at the data.
You get stuff like this from senile Joe, and then there's clear record of Democrats, particularly from Pelosi, de Blasio, Joe Biden, pretty much New York, and, you know, Pelosi and Joe Biden, like the big ones that everyone's focusing on, are the ones that downplayed the virus, and they're the ones that said not to worry, that it's like the flu, it's not easy to catch, and that you're xenophobic for trying to limit travel from areas that have recordings of epidemics. Let that sink in. Just let it sink in. That's all I got for this one. So until next time, God bless.